Today is October 10th, 2015. Joining us on the porch is local musician Rob Orioli.
The best place for family. What are you waiting for? Where friendships run deeper. Come join us on the porch. So glad you're on the
porch. That's right, friends. You have made it safely to another episode of On the Porch Radio Hour. And that's right, we're here with our friend and musician, Rob Orioli. Rob and I go way back. It all started in the streets of Baltimore, playing near Camden Yard and down at the Inner Harbor. And back when Rob and I were kids, the Inner Harbor wasn't such a nice place. So we would go down there and kind of hide behind shipping crates and barrels and watch the ships come in, and sometimes we'd go over to Fort McHenry, think about the Star-Spangled Banner. Those were the good old days. But it wasn't until a shipping freight from what we think was Poland rolled in, and they had these massive crates full of sausages. And of course they were in a hurry because you can't leave sausages in the harbor for too long or they go bad, or back then there were rats and thieves and the homeless, and they wanted to get in there and eat the sausages or take them to cook them to eat them anyway. And Rob and I were watching some of this happen, and we thought with all of the excitement that was happening around these sausage crates, we decided that we would just sneak onto the ship. That's where the fun is. 3 weeks later, we decided that it wasn't fun anymore, and we wanted to get back off the ship. We didn't realize that they were almost, on a real, not almost, but we're on a very tight schedule. They unloaded their sausages, made sure that whoever was there to receive them, and they took off, with Rob and I stowed away. We were able to eat a lot of sausages, though, and they took good care of us, even though we didn't really know the language, and they didn't really know ours. But at one point, the captain let us steer the ship and use the offshore radio to try to communicate with our families, let them know that we were okay. And they were very good at letting us know that we were going to be severely punished when we got home. But it was great times out there on the sea, just Rob and I, and tons of sausages. And the ship dog, of course. He was just this little schnauzer thing, like just little furry rat type of thing, and that ate a lot of sausages with us too. And we befriended spiders while we were sleeping down by the sausage crates, and we got to pee off the side. But that's a whole other story that we'll talk about during the interview. But let's bring it back to current times when it wasn't I don't know, maybe just a year or so ago that Rob and I were reunited at an open mic, and Rob was playing his cajon and I was telling stories, and it was like the good old days, because Rob actually learned how to play the cajon while sitting on an empty sausage box. And it was a lot of fun. So anyway, it's lovely to have Rob at the farm and have all of our audience members here at the farm and to have everybody listening on Concert Window. And we're going to hear more about mine and Rob's history, maybe at a On the Porch reunion program or something. But for tonight, we're just going to highlight Rob and the things that he's doing now. We'll get to that later. But for now, Rob, you're on the porch.
Take it slow, they try to tell me, but they're not listening at all. Not trying to take this thing nowhere, not trying to push it at all. But who knows, it could someday grow, maybe fade away. Still I'm sure I ain't making it no complicated deal. Oh, anyhow, here we are, nowhere to go. You decide the way you know. Oh, maybe me. We'll just wait and see if we might have a clue. I don't know, I don't care, don't got to get nowhere anyhow. Some people look for forever. They'll go for anything, that's sure. But I'm just looking for someone to talk to. Just wanna breathe and take it easy. Oh, anyhow, here we are, nowhere to go. You decide the way you know. Oh, maybe we'll just wait and see if we might have a clue. I don't know, I don't care, don't got to get nowhere anyhow. Anyhow, I'm not asking for your money, not asking anything at all. All I want to do is spend some time with you. Just wanna breathe and take it easy. Oh, anyhow, here we are, nowhere to go. You decide the way you know. Oh, maybe me. We'll just wait and see if we might have a clue. I don't know, I don't care, don't got to get nowhere anyhow. Anyhow, I've said it all, that's what I'm thinking. So there it is, I've said my piece. Not trying to get you all excited, just wanna put your mind at ease. Still I know it could someday grow, maybe fade away. Still I'm sure any someday it could make you happy. Oh, anyhow, here we are, nowhere to go. You decide the way you know. Oh, maybe me. We'll just wait and see if we might have a clue. I don't know, I don't care, don't got to get nowhere. Yeah, anyhow. 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 Thank you.
So I'm going to bring On the Porch Radio Hour's music director, Gina Holsopple, up, and maybe you guys can do a number for us, eh?
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Oh yes, I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
I am a traveler on God's highway, but I'll share my sorrow if you go my way. I have no mother, no father, no sister, no brother. I am an orphan girl,
Thanks.
And now, a word from our sponsor. Tonight's episode of On the Porch Radio Hour is brought to you by 5-Gallon Buckets. Evolution isn't just for the natural world, friends. No, the world of plastics is a world of wonder and fun. As recently introduced right here on the Porch Radio Hour, I dare use the term funder to describe plastics. And they just keep getting funderer. That's right, with their new product, 5-Gallon Buckets. Matthew? Yes? 5-Gallon Buckets aren't new. They've been around almost forever. Well, they've been around since 1967. Right. But what might be new to folks is that 5-gallon buckets are actually used in the packaging and shipping and storage industries. That's how they started. Correct, again, mystery voice guy. But 5-gallon buckets have come to be used for so many things, from street drums to fishing seats to planters to toolboxes and snow removal. Folks may need to be reminded of 5-gallon buckets' origins and bring them back to their roots. So next time you're in need of anything, turn to 5-gallon buckets. Everything can be done 5 gallons at a time. You're listening to On the Porch Radio Hour. We'll be back in a moment.
This is what's happening in Central New York. The Oswego Music Hall presents a concert with Lauren Berriger and Mark Mazengarb tonight. Lauren and Mark will also offer a guitar workshop prior to their performance. Visit oswegomusichall.org for more information. Little Shop of Horrors runs at the CNY Playhouse from October 16th to the 31st. Visit cnyplayhouse.com for more information. The Oswego Players present Sex Please We're 60, October 16th, 17th, and 18th. Visit oswegoplayers.org for more information. The Great Lakes Atmospheric Science Symposium is a one-day conference hosted by SUNY Oswego's Meteorology Club. Call 315-312-3065 for more information. 13th Hour Rising Haunted Hayride, located just north of Baldwinsville on 200 wooded acres, is Central New York's only professional haunted hayride. For more information, visit 13thhourrising.com. Friends of Fort Ontario and CNY Ghost Hunters are teaming up to offer ghost tours at the fort on October 16th and 17th. Call 315-343-4711 for more information. The CNY Art Center has upcoming classes in cake decorating and is currently accepting submissions for the Hallows Eve exhibit. Artists may submit up to 4 pieces that celebrate the spirit of Halloween. The cast of Oliver is currently rehearsing and will take the stage at CNY Art Center during the first 2 weekends in November. Tickets are on sale now. The Writers Cafe meets the last Sunday of the month with the next session, October 25th at 6 p.m. Visit cnyartcenter.com for more information. The Red Room sessions at the Wooden Apple Farmstead are a time for songwriters, musicians, and anyone else who wants to build their musical skill and knowledge to get together. We share songs we are working on, bounce musical ideas off each other, and we usually have time to just play a little music. This is a supportive environment where all levels of songwriting and musical experience are welcome. The next session is October 25th at 6 p.m. For more information, visit Wooden Apple Farmstead on Facebook or call 315-591-0711.
He didn't start life as a teacher, but he's spent a lot of time as a teacher and recently retired and decided to put more of his life's focus and work into his music. And so now I get to stand here with Rob Orioli. Thanks for being on the porch and welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I just wanted to say I really enjoyed that story.
Oh, thanks.
It almost took me back there. It was much more exciting than my childhood I remember. It was almost like I wasn't even there.
Yeah, almost. Oh dear. What? We want to talk to each other. Help him out.
Okay.
So anyway, now that we're back and have been through therapy and are now well adjusted after our trip on the sausage boat,
Right.
welcome back to the... Well, not welcome back, but welcome to the porch anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a nice place you got here.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. We made it ourselves. Not really. But anyway, so you were a teacher, math teacher, is that right?
That's correct.
That's awesome. How many years did you do that?
Over 20 years, mostly in the resource room,
Okay.
and then some applied math also.
Nice. 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. It almost took me 20 years to pass course 1. So
Yeah.
you and I have a lot of similarities there.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Okay. So when did you start music?
When did I start
when did
music?
you get into music?
Well, actually, they tell me when I was 2 years old, I was singing in my crib.
Oh, no
So-
kidding.
But then my sisters overheard me, and they took care of that for another 18 years. So they gave me a drum instead.
Nice.
So I played that, yeah.
Okay. Did you play in any bands or in the school band or anything?
I took lessons in elementary school, and I was in a few bands in high
Nice.
school. And
Cool. You play at least 2 different kinds of drums that I know about, right? Like you play hand drums and you play the cajon. And do you have like a drum kit as well?
Yeah, drum kit.
Okay.
Spent most of the time on that. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Mhm.
That's a lot of fun. And you've been are you currently do you currently play with any bands?
Right now it's just the open mics mostly.
Yeah. And you've been doing some recording with some folks lately, right?
Some guys around here.
Yeah.
The great Moose Slayer
That's
from
that's right.
Cato, I think he's from
Yeah.
Mexico. Parish.
From
okay.
Parish, yeah,
He's a
the
great
great
Moose
Moose
Slayer.
Slayer
Yeah.
from
He's got
Parish.
some good songs. We got together and recorded them down at the Subcat studio.
Yeah, that's awesome. We actually have a rough copy of that, I think, or maybe it's like just after editing or something. But yeah, the Moose Slayer passed on a disc and was like, "Check this out." So
Yep.
good stuff. You sound good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, so here's one thing that we never really talked about on the boat. But did you grow up in Central New York, or?
Well, my grandparents came on the boat.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
right.
you mean here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in Salve. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Nice. And so you would have attended. Hold on. Salve have their own high school?
Salve High School.
Salve High School.
Yep.
Nice. I won't ask you when you graduated. So they had a. You took lessons there, and you did school band too, right?
Stage band. They call
Stage
it.
band.
Yeah.
That's cool. So did you play for musical theater and stuff?
Oh yeah, for all the
In the pit?
shows that were put on
Yeah.
by the students there, we played in the pit band.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. No,
So-
one of the most fun things was playing up at SU
Okay.
for the pep band.
Nice.
Yeah, play the kit.
Yeah.
And they sent us for the games, the different Big East games.
Right.
Sent us all around. It was a lot of fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you got in for free.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see the
It
games.
had the shirt though.
Oh.
No, I don't have any more to give you.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That stinks. I like shirts. So when did you then pick up the guitar?
Probably in 90s, I guess. 90s,
Okay.
yeah, early 90s. Yeah,
Nice.
I started playing in church.
Okay.
Church and coffee houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So the song that you played earlier at the beginning of the show,
Mhm.
is that yours?
That's mine. Yeah, that
Ah.
was off of a CD called 120%
Okay.
that I did at home.
Nice.
So it's my first crack at something like that, and had 10 songs, and the proceeds went to the rescue mission. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. Not only is it a good song, but a good cause. So that's really cool.
thanks.
Yeah. Did you, when did you record that?
2007.
Okay.
In the summer one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And so was that the same summer then that you worked with a group of students doing music stuff?
Actually, it was the following summer.
Okay.
I started as a TA working in that group in the summer.
Nice.
And then within 2 years, they had me doing the music program.
That's so neat.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So you had a number of students that had like a range of a range of age.
Yes.
And how many weeks did you spend with them?
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah, so
Wow.
we're kind of off the bat. We had to be kind of targeting towards the end of the summer, which was a show for all the kids to participate in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. And was that something that you got to have a hand in writing and developing, or did they hand you something, or did you develop it with the kids as you went on?
Well, we worked as a team,
Mm-hmm.
all the teachers and administration.
Yeah.
We came up with a theme, and then I would go through some of these songs and just kind of condense them and make them, able for the kids to play and sing
Nice.
and dance to.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's really neat.
it was fun.
Yeah, no doubt. How many students were in the...
Oh,
in
I'd
that
say
program?
over 300.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So,
Whoa, I thought you were going to say like 20 or 25 or something.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow, 6 weeks, 300 kids.
Yeah, and then everybody there, the staff, everybody worked together
Sure.
to get the kids, on the stage, off the stage,
Mm-hmm.
just as long as we had everything planned for them to do. And it
Right.
was a lot of fun. Some of them had never done anything like that before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, what a neat experience.
Yeah.
And be involved with that many kids.
Mhm.
That's really awesome. Now, did you only do that for one summer, or how?
3 summers altogether for that,
Wow.
where I was putting together the shows
Mhm.
and a class for, we called it music enrichment.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Right.
Nice. So at what point then did you move to closer to the Oswego area?
Oh, I actually took my graduate work there
Okay.
in the reading programs. I didn't move there, but I was up at school, Oswego. Yeah.
Okay.
And did some more music when I did my graduate work in reading.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like writing classes and
Yeah.
did some songs that had to do with the reading, and we shared them as a faculty. It was kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real fun.
Mhm.
Awesome. So how many songs do you have then that you've written?
Oh, actually, after that time, I haven't really written since then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'd like to, start adding some of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to pressure you or anything, but every once in a while I might, come
Yes.
say, hey, man, what are you working on?
Well, I'm working on the spider one with a cajon. And,
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
boat.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love
Sausages, yeah, they were
it. I
good.
love it. Yeah, you should bring that back. That was such a great time for me. It was a little scary, but it was such a memorable experience.
And you remember it so vividly. too.
Yeah. Well, things that are, that we try not to allow to be traumatic, but sometimes are,
Yeah, right.
And,
Yeah.
and we had great conversations about whether or not we actually wanted to go home, and we decided we'd had enough of spiders and sausage. But
Yeah.
but it was great. It was great, and I was glad you could be part of that too. I didn't have to do it alone. So thanks.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every once in a while I'll revisit the Baltimore area, and people will be like, "Hey, let's go check out the Inner Harbor," and I'm all like, "No,
Yeah.
I've seen it. I'm good.
Right.
Thanks."
That old, good
Thanks.
old Camden.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
All right. So the song that you sang earlier what was the title of that?
That was called Anyhow.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that song.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be pressuring you to find one of those old albums so I can like burn a copy or buy a copy or something like that.
Yeah, burning's the best.
Okay.
Then you won't have to worry about it anymore.
Don't use it as a coaster, just burn it.
Right.
That's funny. You, sir.
All right.
All right. You've got another song for us?
Oh, sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, before you get to that, though, do you have any music online or anything that anybody can listen to you, or should they just, people should just be coming to hear you at open mic, or how do we want to get people more involved with Rob?
Well, for now, I guess it's open mic till I
Mhm.
get something that the quality, that you can put online nowadays would be great.
Yeah. All right. So you'll be at the music hall
Mm-hmm.
on all of their Friday night open mics, or the ones that you can make anyway.
Right.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Rob,
Okay.
for being on the show. Rob Orioli, everybody.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
This one's off the CD that was called 120%, and it's the title track, so it's called 120%. When I walk into a room, I get a funny feeling like a plane that has been broken, just stepped off a ship. People's faces look suspicious, don't know what they're thinking. It's a temporary feeling, but it feels just like a cliff. I'm on the outside, looking in, till the conversation starts, and I realize it's just my vice, my sweet obsession, just kicking in 120%. Don't wanna pay no rent, yeah, yeah, yeah. When I go for it, I show for it, give my all and then some. All it's all of it, all none of it. I'm the kind who goes it wholesale. When I do myself a job, it's not enough to merely finish. It's a careful, thorough plan to make sure that it's just right. I might work a little slower, but I know I surely get it, 'cause I stick with it, 'cause it all fits, it makes a pretty sight. I'm on the outside, looking in, till the conversation starts, and I realize that's just my vice, my sweet obsession, just kicking in 120%. Don't wanna pay no rent, yeah, yeah, yeah. When I go for it, I show for it, give my all and then some. All it's all of it, all none of it. The kind who goes it wholesale, wholesale. When I give myself a woman, it's such a rare occasion, I've been inclined to redefine my way of seeing things clearly. In my mind I cannot find a way to cheat obsession, but it's all okay, 'cause she's the one that makes me hanging on. I'm on the outside, looking in, till the conversation starts, and I realize just my vice, my heightened senses, just kicking in 120%. Don't wanna pay no rent, yeah, yeah, yeah. When I go for it, I show for it, I give my all and then some. Well, it's all of it, all none of it. I'm the kind who goes it wholesale, wholesale. Oh, it's hard to admit you have a problem with your thinking. It's a curse, but it's a gift if used in the right way. So if you see me in the future, get yourself ready. It's the only thing I know how to do, the way that I survive. I'm on the outside, looking in, till the conversation starts, and I realize just my vice, my heightened senses, just kicking in 120%. Wholesale, wholesale, 120%. Wholesale.
September 26th. 1997, and Kenny Weaver had just taken his first exam of his senior year of high school. And he could feel the weight lifted. And he felt like every time he took an exam, it got him closer and closer to graduation. And that felt like every time there would be more and more weight lifted. Since it was football season, he wanted to be able to watch the game that night at the school. So his dad had made plans with him to pick him up after school, but the weather was so nice. And Kenny was feeling really good after taking this exam. He just had to walk home. So he headed out. And he thought that he would walk the same path that his father was driving and maybe they would pass each other. They never did. So when Kenny got home, feeling so light and good, and usually he doesn't feel really light and good after a long walk like that, because he spends a lot of time what he calls upstairs. He didn't want to be thinking a lot. He didn't want to be in his head. But he wasn't. He was clear, and he had a great walk. Then he walked through the kitchen door, and his father was standing in the middle of the kitchen with that look, really pinched in the eyebrows and red in the cheeks. And Kenny knew that he did something wrong. And his dad said, "I've been driving all over town looking for you. Where have you been? I was supposed to pick you up after school." He says, "Yeah, I know, Dad. I wanted to walk home, and I couldn't call you from the payphone, and the office was closed, and I just decided I wanted to walk." And Kenny could feel all of that air just suck out of him, all of that life that he had breathed in, and all of those thoughts that he hadn't thought while he was walking, and everything just came back in, and the breath was gone, and the weight was back, and he was instantly miserable. He didn't even want to go to the football game. And he and his dad got into it, and they argued and fought and talked about the football game, not going to the football game. Kenny didn't want to hang out with his dad. He didn't understand why his dad was so mad, and his dad didn't understand why he couldn't just have let him know that he wanted to go for a walk, or maybe just let him pick him up and drive him home, and then he could have gone for a walk. And it was just too complicated on both ends. At this point, Kenny learned a long time ago that he couldn't just go and sit in his room because his dad would stand outside the door. So eventually he evolved into running to his friend's house. And then eventually he got a girlfriend, and that evolved into putting on his jogging stuff and running to his girlfriend's house. But his dad learned this pattern too. So his dad knew that if Kenny decided to go for a run so that they didn't have to get into it anymore or try to figure it out, that's where he'd be, and Dad would show up. And Kenny didn't want that either. So he put on his jogging stuff like he was going to go for a run. And when he left the house, instead of turning down the driveway and taking a right at the end of the driveway, he just completely ignored the driveway and went around to the opposite side of the house and out into the woods, where there was this massive apple tree that nobody ever picked apples from, and they just let it go, and it was really, really tall, and all of the apples were way out of reach at the top of the tree. There was an old wooden ladder, and Kenny pulled it out of the briars and got it unstuck from all the vines and propped it up against the apple tree and climbed up as high as he could go. And there he sat in the crotch of these apple tree branches, where he could reach out and pull apples and eat them, and any of the ones that were rotten he could throw out as far as he could. What a great view up there, too. Apple trees aren't supposed to be that tall, but it was. And it was miraculous, and the apples were so good. And so there he sat. And it was just as good as going for a run. And it was just as good as complaining to a friend or a girlfriend or girlfriend's parents. What he would usually do is he would run and run and run and run and run, and then he would fall exhausted into their house. And he would say hello to everybody as he took off his shoes and walked straight for the refrigerator. And he always opened their refrigerator, and he would look through it, and then he would close the door, and he would go over and sit down on the couch. He never took anything out of the refrigerator, but everybody knew that was his pattern, and he never really paid attention to it until they brought it up one day. And the whole reason they brought it up is because his girlfriend's mom needed to call him and ask where the ketchup was because she couldn't find it. And he had just been there the night before, and so he could tell her that it was in the back on the second shelf just behind the eggs and just a little bit left of the big jug of pickles that they left in there. "Oh, that's why I couldn't find it," she said. And he sat in the top of the apple tree and he thought about this and he smiled and he started to feel like a little kid, which he never let himself do anymore because, he's a senior in high school and you don't want to feel like a little kid, or at least openly. But here at the top of the apple tree, he could. So he held on to the branch and he just kind of let his feet swing back and forth like little kids do when their feet can't touch the floor when they're sitting in the chair at the dinner table. And he smiled and he crossed his feet at the ankles and just let them swing back and forth. And he looked around and smiled and allowed himself to feel like a kid. And he imagined himself looking like a little kid with his feet swinging. And when he felt that thump on his foot and he looked down and watched that old wooden ladder make its way all the way down to the ground and settle back into those briars, all of that childhood brilliance, all of that warm sunshine, all of that inside laughter about knowing that the ketchup was behind that big jug of pickles, all gone. Because now he had no place to go. Not that he didn't have any place to go, because there was a lot of options. He just couldn't get there, because there was no way for him to get down. And so he's stuck in the top of this apple tree. And there he sat, thinking, trying to decide if he should yell, if he should try to climb down. But he started thinking about his future. And he started thinking about gymnastics and how he was on the gymnastics team and how he was really working hard to get a scholarship and he wanted to be a gymnast in college, and he wanted to get that scholarship so he could go to a good school and get a good education and not have to pay a ton of bills at the end. I mean, he'd still have to pay a ton of bills, but at least they'd be less. So he thought maybe he could use his excellent gymnastics talents and get himself out of the apple tree, but there just wasn't any place good to get a good hold. No place to put his feet, no place to jump to. So he ate. And he ate apples. And he ate apples. And he ate apples. Every apple that he could reach, he ate, because he sat there forever. His dad may have gone looking for him, but that was the whole point. He climbed the apple tree so that nobody could find him, and then he would get down when he was good and ready. And he thought that he would probably be good and ready in time for the football game. But as the sun set, he didn't think he was going to make it to the football game. And there he sat. And that dark fall-time dew started to settle. And he started to get chilled. And as he reached into his pocket, he pulled out the last apple that he was able to pick. And it was small. And in that dusk light where you can just barely see, but contrast is really fantastic. And so everything dark is really dark, and everything that's white is really white. And he bit the apple in half. But not the normal way that you cut an apple in half, but the other way. And when he looked at the apple, the core formed a star. And he remembered all the stories he heard as a kid about why there's a star in the middle of the apple when you cut it that way, and how it got there, and all of its symbolism. And he ate it, and he swallowed it. And he imagined that star from all of those stories growing inside of him, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually he was an apple. And there he sat, hanging from the tree, the biggest, most attractive, most delicious apple in the tree, from that top branch, all by himself, hoping that somebody would come pick him. Maybe his girlfriend would make it out there and pluck him down and turn him into a pie. He thought it'd be great to be an apple pie. ice cream. Definitely ice cream. And whipped cream. Ice cream and whipped cream in an apple pie made out of him. What could be better than that? And as he started to really fall asleep, gripping tightly onto the apple tree, not being able to keep his eyes open, he could envision himself sitting on the world's best bakery's shelf, just hot out of the oven, and everybody calling, "Kenny, Kenny." And as a pie, that's the one thing you want, is for people to walk into the bakery and call your name. They knew his name was Kenny the Pie. And there he sat, delicious and ready. And when the tree started to shake from the ladder hitting the branch he was on, he woke up and realized that he wasn't a pie, and that he wasn't that apple. But he still had this really warm spot. The rest of him was cold and damp, but it was warm. Warm must have been from that star in the apple, he supposed. And he climbed down the ladder, and not a word was spoken. He made his way back to the house. And when he was asked if he was going to go to bed, he said, "No, I won't be long, though. You guys go ahead." And nobody asked him why he was in the tree. Nobody asked him why he didn't call for help. They just let him sit. And he started thinking about this term that he always thought was weird. Enjoy yourself. How does one enjoy themselves? And he got a big smile and he thought, I'll enjoy myself with some ice cream. Ice cream and whipped cream, because that's the best way to eat a Kenny pie. And that's what he did. Pulled himself up to a big bowl of ice cream topped with whipped cream. And it was cold. And he was still wearing his damp jogging outfit. And he shivered. But as soon as the ice cream and all of its coldness hit that warm spot, connected with that star, it stopped. The coldness didn't happen anymore. He was warm, and he was happy. And even though it was only one voice, Kenny and that star sang together. And he keeps that song in that place where that star is. And he loves being in Tonkahogen. And he still dreams of being a gymnast in a Division I school, where he might be able to eat all the pies he wants. But until then, he'll enjoy himself with a big bowl of ice cream. And he'll sing, "This is my home. This is my only home. This is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden." Thanks. And thanks for sticking out through another episode of On the Porch Radio Hour. I want to give a big thanks to Rob Orioli for being a guest and singing and sharing a piece of himself with us tonight. It was really fantastic. So thanks for coming to the farm and taking time to be with us. We really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed having everybody here in the audience and on Concert Window. And I want to thank everybody for listening to our archives on ontheporch.weebly.com. Thanks for going there. Just click on the Watch and Listen tab, and all of our shows are archived right there. And I hope everybody has a great time, and I hope we get to see you some Thursday night here at the farm or someplace else where we're recording from. And until then, peace to your journey.
On the Porch is a production of the Wood and Apple Farmstead with host and writer Matthew Wood. Our sound technician and musical director is Gina Holsapple. Our stage manager is Ray Monet. This week's guest is Rob Orioli. Find information about past shows, being on the porch, and much more online at ontheporch.weebly.com.